Hello, today is March 9th, and we are continuing to read our texts for this coming Sunday, the second Sunday of Lent. Uh, just a reminder, because it is Wednesday today, this evening will be the first of our Wednesday Lenten uh, meals and worship services that we are doing with our neighbors at Gwinn United Methodist. So if you are around this evening at 5 o'clock, our meal starts, hosted by our social outreach ministry. They are handling the meal, wonderful soup and sandwich meal. And then at 6 o'clock, beginning at 6, is our worship service based on the Mountain Vespers liturgy, which is led by musicians both from our church here at Grace and from Gwinn United Methodist. So we hope you can join us. All are welcome to the meal and to worship. Please join us this evening, and we will continue to do these throughout the season of Lent. So that was a quick plug for this evening's meal and worship, but our text for today is for this coming Sunday, our 10 a.m. Sunday worship. And what we're reading today is our psalm. Our psalm for this Sunday is Psalm 27. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom then shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers close in against me to devour my flesh, they, my foes, and my enemies will stumble and fall. Though an army encamp against me, my heart will not fear. Though war rise up against me, my trust will not be shaken. One thing I ask of the Lord, one thing I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to seek God in the temple. For in the day of trouble God will give me shelter, hide me in the hidden places of the sanctuary, and raise me high upon a rock. Even now my head is lifted up above my enemies who surround me. Therefore I will offer sacrifice in the sanctuary, sacrifices of rejoicing. I will sing and make music to the Lord. Hear my voice, O Lord, when I call. Have mercy on me and answer me. My heart speaks your message. Seek my face. Your face, O Lord, I will seek. Hide not your face from me. Turn not away from your servant in anger. Cast me not away. You have been my helper. Forsake me not, O God of my salvation. Though my father and my mother forsake me, the Lord will take me in. Teach me your way, O Lord. Lead me on a level path because of my oppressors. Subject me not to the will of my foes, for they rise up against me, false witnesses breathing violence. This I believe, that I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord and be strong. Take heart and wait for the Lord. This psalm is of these psalms in the 20s, I should say. They are psalms of help, psalms of trust in God, but they aren't songs that are self-assured, I should say that. Or maybe not self-assured, they are psalms that are not oblivious to the world around them. It would be one thing if the psalms were to say, trust in God, always be trust in God, trust in God, trust in God, and they didn't acknowledge the reality around them. That is, there is a sense of this psalm is saying, yes, there is evil in the world. Yes, I am surrounded by evildoers. One point that I read as I was preparing for this is in that verse 1. It can sound really confident. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom then shall I fear? There's a really popular song on the Christian radio circuit. Whom then shall I fear? Whom then shall I fear? That song, it kind of it's a good song. It's fine. The problem with that song is that it is lifted out of Psalm 27. Obviously, that's what it is. That's where it comes from. But it in some sense just lifts that out. It just pops that out of the rest of the psalm. And the problem with that is that that song gives the impression that I have supreme confidence, that I have no fear whatsoever within myself. And the psalm points to this is a person who has trusted in the Lord in the past, but who is in the midst of uncertainty. That verse 1, whom then shall I fear? Whom shall I be afraid of? It is written in the imperfect. So the tense, the actual tense in the Hebrew points to not someone who has firmly decided they are not afraid. Instead, it is the prayer of someone who is seeking courage, who is seeking comfort even as they are afraid. That this psalm is the prayer for the person who knows what danger feels like, who has felt anxiety, who feels dread, who is, in some sense, afraid. When we lift these verses, whom then shall I fear? Of whom shall I be afraid? When you lift that out of the context of the entire psalm, when you lift it out of the context of a lived faith, this is someone who has, this is a prayer of someone who is on the path and who has challenges, who has real danger around them. And that person is not going to be settled. That person is not always going to be supremely confident. If they were, their eyes would be closed and they would not be human. If we pull these out of that context, if we pull these sort of catchphrases almost about our relationship with God, or God's protection for us, or God's salvation for us, if we pull them out of the whole voice of the psalm, if we pull them out of the lived context of a faith that gets challenged and knocked down day after day, which I know that mine does, then that becomes a very brittle concept of faith. That means that if that is your only conception of what faith can look like, that your faith must be unassailable, must be supremely confident. If that's the only idea that you have, then anything less than that is going to seem like a failure on the part of your faith. It's going to make you seem, or one would feel, they have failed and are going to fall away entirely. Whereas Psalm 27 is a psalm for the seeker. Psalm 27 is the psalm for someone who is in the midst of the struggle. That God that the Lord will take me in, though my father and my mother forsake me. That there is something for somebody who's struggling now. That they are being taken in, they are given shelter now, not just when they are supremely confident, not just when they feel faithful, because this psalm is a prayer for confidence. It's a prayer for protection. So Psalm 27 is this wonderful vision. The Lord is my light and my salvation. That's a fantastic promise. And it's a promise that the psalm, all of Scripture, shows us we can trust. But in that seeking trust, in the seeking of relationship with God, we can't pretend that journey is uncomplicated or not at times difficult. Psalms like this help us get to the next point, help us take the next and best step forward in that relationship of faith with God, without having us looking over constantly over our shoulder or over at our neighbor to see, oh, well, I'm not like them. Oh, I'm not approaching what they're doing. I guess I'm really not cut out for this. This psalm is a psalm about continual relationship with God because we need God, because we need a light and a salvation. That's our psalm for this coming Sunday, the second Sunday in Lent. I hope you are having a good week. Please join us for a meal today at 5 and our worship afterward. If not, I hope you are staying healthy. I hope you are staying safe out there. All right. Bye-bye.